Teamsters1932.org.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website and MBRradio.us. We got to bless the show before we get started. Let's go. When I was in my mother's womb, I had a calling on my life to do something in the glory of God and marry it like a wife. Commit myself to his word and never be led astray. And when it's all over, when he comes, I'll be glad to see that day in the morning time. All right, good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Again, streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website. The station leaves no listener behind. Hey, we're in the building tonight, live at the studio. So if you're in your car and you are driving along and you got to get out, grab your device, type in those characters, kcaaradio.com on your smartphone, or go download the app. Yes, we have an app. So you can either download the app or go right from the website, click listen live and watch live and tune in to not just my show, but the other shows that are on this platform throughout the week. I haven't checked it, but last I saw that the show re-airs at 4 a.m., so you can check that out too for last week's episode. So we twice on Sundays. We appreciate that. Tonight, we got a very always important, impactful show for you here on Sunday nights. Make sure you check me out on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time on the Military Broadcast Radio Network. That's right, MBR. We are there Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. Catch us streaming all on the platforms as well, Roku TV. And then you can watch it afterwards on Spotify, podcasts, wherever you get your shows from, if you're interested. All right, so we're going to start this first piece off of tonight with some very, for me it's always important. I've tried to get away from my sickle cell trait conversation, but I realized that a lot of the things I'm even talking about to you, not just about, but from my life, it really all stems from that episode of when I collapsed. That collapse from sickle cell trait exertion with the rhabdomyolysis, that was that seed. It was time for that seed to flourish and to grow, ending my career, but also it set me on this trajectory and this path that I'm on to today, dealing with all of the stuff that came from that episode, from the depression and suicide ideation and the anxiety and the arthritis and all of it. All of it sparked from that one day. But what's crazy was, if we look back and if I tell the truth to you, again, a lot of that stuff comes from our childhood. It comes from the past experiences. So, we carry a lot of emotional stuff, and it's exhausting too, right? And carrying that emotional conversations from the past of upset and shame and disappointment and embarrassment and anger and whatever that is, that affects your body. It truly does affect. We know that because we're chemicals too, and the chemical reactions that happen from stress, from worrying, from depression and anxiety. Our immune system gets impacted. Like, we know it makes sense, but do you live from it? And so just doing that education and learning about myself and just going through those processes, have become part of my dialogue and part of my talk. Only because I had to find my freedom in it. I had to break free from those past experiences, those stories, and what I made it mean about Farron and my perception and my interpretation and my perspectives. It's been corrupted. Even today I have to catch myself as I'm developing and healing. I don't have it all figured out. And by not having it all figured out, it's definitely humbling, right? Because once you realize you don't have it figured out, you either got to choose it the way it is and choose it the way it isn't. And that's one thing that I've got out of my classes, my personal development classes, You hear people say that it is. You hear people say it is what it is, right? And then they just leave it there. I say that yeah, it is what it is, but it ain't what it ain't. And the freedom that I got from that is the ability to choose life the way it is and the way it isn't. And by choosing life the way it is and the way it isn't, it allows me to now not necessarily have control over my life, but actually have life versus life having me, right? And so I equate that to, these last few days I've had to choose some things that I'm just not willing. I was resisting. Like I don't want to choose that. And part of it was choosing loss, right? And loss is not just in a death. Loss could be a relationship, loss could be a friendship, loss could be a lot of things. So I had to choose loss the way it is and the way it isn't. I also had to choose grief the way it is and the way it isn't. But the biggest one that I'm working on right now choosing is we choose to be loved, but do we choose not to be loved? Do we choose not being unloved? And sometimes by not choosing not being unloved and resisting being not loved, we find ourselves in situations where maybe we shouldn't be in, right? Maybe that's why relationships seem to be toxic. Are we the ones that are bringing the toxicity? Are we the ones that's the experience in us, putting that off on other people? And so by looking at that and by being the work and doing the work, when I looked at, yes, I want to be loved, and I have to choose being unloved. It's like choosing to be wanted and then choosing to be unwanted. So when I chose love and being love as it is, and then I chose not being loved or unloved as also choosing that, now I have love. Love doesn't have me. And by now that I have love, love doesn't have me. And also being unloved doesn't have me. I have being unloved. So by me choosing those the way they are and the way they're not, now I have my power back. And now I have love. Love doesn't have me. And now I can choose to let love go. And I could choose to let being unloved go. And by choosing to let go of being unloved, I can also choose being loved. So right there in that space of choosing life the way it is and the way it isn't, right there in that space there's peace. Right? Choosing loss and choosing unwanted, choosing those grief, choosing my life the way it is and the way it isn't, choosing being alone, choosing those things that I'm resisting gives me my power back. And that's the space that I'm in right now. I've been choosing things that I've been resisting. Probably, I'm 55, probably from 8, 9, 7, 5 years old. I've been resisting choosing things in life the way they are and the way they're not. And as I take those choices and choose them, I've been getting levels of peace, experiencing what we call whole and complete. So if I'm choosing being wanted and not being wanted, and I'm choosing being loved and not being loved, guess what my experience of myself is? I'm whole and complete. If you choose me or not, if you love me or not, I love me. I love myself. Right? And so sometimes, we focus on the doing love, but do we focus on the being love and the being love to ourselves first? Like you might find somebody who can do love for you, but then it's going to be temporary. Because if you're taking that love and you're filling a void in your own mind from their love, then when they stop doing that love, then they don't do that love the way you do, need it done, then now that's not the person. So is it us that needs to take a look at that first and how much I love myself? Because I can only love you in the measure that I love myself. So I only love Farron about 80% of the time. So that 20% that I don't love about Farron, guess where that's going to show up at? It's going to show up in your as a shield in how you talk to me. And if you talk to me in the space that I'm not loved for myself, then that's hurtful because you don't get to point that out. That's my deepest secrets, right? So in that space arises vulnerability. I haven't been vulnerable since 14 years old, from a 14-year-old breakup with a girl in junior high school. And I said out of my mouth, I'm not going to be vulnerable and have to defend myself in relationships. Now, I figured that out at 40. I started to, but then I hadn't done the work completely around that because there was other things in life that mattered, like staying alive. Not the song either. So now at this age I'm at, you know, I'm actually, and it makes sense because in this last couple of years, I've been looking at, after I healed with my dad, I healed with my mom. And then like 2 years ago, I'm like, okay, what's next? The next layer that I want to peel off is my peer relationships, because I've learned that we make 3 decisions, one against our mom, one against our dad, and then one at our peer age. And by that time you make that peer age decision, there goes the friendships, there goes and now you a loner, or you might find yourself as a, you know, in a political party just because you can get along, just, you know, so that sense of belonging, right, is what I'm pointing to. And so when I chose life the way it is and the way it isn't, I actually experienced being complete, because this is the only life I got. There ain't no other life coming tomorrow morning. There ain't no other life next week. Like, this is the life I get right here, and I have to choose it the way it is and the way it isn't, or I'm going to be resisting life. And the more that you resist, the more that persists. So if you're resisting loss, or you're resisting being unwanted, you're carrying that into the next relationship. You're carrying that to yourself. So the ability to experience being whole and complete by choosing life the way it is and the way it isn't, I've actually become vulnerable again. Why? Because as James 5:16, I can now confess my faults. I don't have to defend my intentions anymore. See, even though I made people mad or I hurt people, I also am responsible for how I land on folks. So by confessing my faults, it actually gives me my power back in the spirit. Now, in your mind, in your heart, it might look like I'm a weak person, like I'm weak because I ask for forgiveness and I apologize and I have my feelings and I'm emotionally intelligent, right? Because I understand that now. So for some people, that could appear to be weak by asking for forgiveness and having conversations and talking about your feelings and emotions, but actually is actually strength in the Lord, right? So when you understand that, the battle of the mind, as we talk about, yes, as especially with men, I don't, you know, with this thing about men and our perception and our interpretation and perspectives, you know, you can't be in touch with your feelings, man. You can't cry, don't do this. But guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. Spiritually, yes, you may think you look bad in the world. However, not so. So the ability to experience being vulnerable, and I can say that out of my mouth now. Like, I can say I'm vulnerable. Like, you don't know, but that's how much freedom I got, how much peace I have from carrying that for 41 years. 41 years I lived that I'm not vulnerable. And I have proof. I had evidence. I had a good reason why. I defended it very well. And I sabotaged relationships at the same time. Failed relationships because I'm not vulnerable and I've got to defend myself. And here I am at 55, you know, and I'm vulnerable again at 55. Life is another dynamic. So that's the opening dialogue here. Make sure you check us out Sundays at 8 p.m. Pacific time right here on KCA Radio. Also catch me Wednesdays on the Military Broadcast Radio Network for my military talk show, 4 p.m. Pacific time All those are on whatever you get your streaming platforms, wherever you at. You can check those out. All right, we're gonna play a PSA. This is my sickle cell trait awareness. I'm a sickle cell trait advocate. Again, as I started this conversation, a lot of this sparks from me collapsing and almost dying from sickle cell trait exertion with rhabdomyolysis, and now I use this conversation as all the things that I healed from. God used all that for His good, for His glory, and now I get to speak from it and share from it. So WDCOandSET.org. Check out this PSA. This is in Espanol because the Latin community is number 2. African Americans, we are number 1 with sickle cell trait because of our ancestors being from a place where malaria was present. So if you understand Africa and that area, malaria is present. And so my ancestors are from that area. My DNA, actually, I checked it. If I believe it, it's all of it's from the Nigeria area and that part of the world. So. But yes, this PSA is in Espanol because the Latin community is number 2 with sickle cell trait. So for you athletes, very important conversation for the coaches, for the parents to understand there are risk factors with sickle cell trait, and we'll get more into that later in the episode. This is the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Shout out to what's the count. I see the guests. I see y'all there. We're going to come right to you after this PSA. And, of course, I got to play some music. Check us out right now on the Farron Dozier Show. Shout us out, what's the count?
Muchos de nosotros nos vemos afectados por la enfermedad de células falciformes a diario y un número creciente simplemente no nos damos cuenta. Los impactos de esta enfermedad afectan a todas las personas y en especialmente a las personas de color y con antecedentes diversos. Estar en servicio conmigo y con los demás a medida que creamos una mayor conciencia sobre cómo identificar y dirigir el tratamiento de los rasgos de células falciformes y ayudar a las familias a saber cómo superar el trastorno de células falciformes. WDCONSCT.org. Gracias por su atención.
Then he does a 180 when he's sick of you. It's easier to leave what you're not committed to. So you cried yourself to sleep that night and you woke up a different you. That isn't true. Do you know who you are? Did you know you're a star? You're a star. A whole galaxy, baby. A whole galaxy, baby. Out here looking crazy. Did you know you're a queen? You're a queen. The offspring of a king. Offspring of a king. You are royalty, baby. You are royalty. If you didn't show your body, would he notice you? If now I give him the pleasure of even knowing you. And know you love it when your body make his head turn. It'll turn away when someone show him more than you. Does he take advantage of you when you broke down? To pick you up cause he believe in you and no one do. And if he know that you a gift, he gon' wait for you. And if he won't, did he really deserve to open you? No. And they say, why would he buy the house if you let him live in it for free? And he don't wanna be no husband, but wants you to be everything a wife should be. Then he does a 180 when he's sick of you. Cause it's easier to leave what you're not committed to. I guess you got so tired of crying, you died, then just became what he did to you.
All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Shouts out to Bizzle, man. You know what? I used to host a Christian hip-hop talk show on Dash Radio, went to Lit Live on GH3, Got South Hip Hop. Before I kind of found in that transition of leaving hip hop into Christian rap and Christian music, being a part of that show kind of put me right in there because I was the one editing and putting the show together, choosing music. And I went to God a couple years ago, like, man, I want to heal from that worldly music, you know, and guess what? He helped me. I'm not going to say I don't listen to it, but understanding it and the transition and giving it to him and praying about it and watching it slowly go away, it's not attached to me. Like I hear it because it was a childhood. I mean, we all have a soundtrack to life. right? But what I learned was to sanctify that music, with God's word. And so the more I practiced that and had been doing that the last couple of years, I can tell you it's changed. So, and Christian hip hop changed as well. So it's actually pretty good today. When I was listening to it at 21 years old in 1991, it was a little bit corny. That was just my take on it. But all right, shouts out to Bizzle, man. Got some nice tracks up there. All right, we're gonna get right into this show, Farron Dozier Show / Sports Selective TV Media this weekend. What's up, Coach? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm doing great today. How are you?
I'm alive. Can't complain. Can't be upset about it.
Good, good. Thanks for hanging out tonight with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Thanks for having us.
So real quick before I bring on a couple of players, what? Congratulations! Is that? Is that
Yeah,
is that
man.
a good word for that?
Yeah. I mean, we'll take it, man. It was crazy out there, man. Ron, it was raining cats and dogs. Had about 30 pounds of rain on us, but we were able to pull out the win by the grace of God, and we're on to the semifinals, man.
Man, you know, we see the NFL. They play in rain, sleet, snow. I mean, unless you got a dome. Um, I know you're not new to this game, but for what was on the line and what you saw your players go through and push through. I mean, I was in the Army, man. They said it don't rain in the Army, it rain on the Army. so
Yeah.
weather, I mean, for you, what did you see out of your players, man, that was like, you know what, y'all definitely pushed through that?
Well, first I got to be honest, man. I'm from the South, so when they said it was gonna rain, I'm like, man, it's California. It don't rain. They gonna say it's gonna rain, but then it's gonna be dry by game time.
Right.
And walked out there, it was the opposite story. But what I saw from these young men, they made adjustments. They didn't make excuses.
Mm.
And it was honestly, just as a coach sitting back and watching, knowing all the stuff that was said before the game and all this different things. I just saw a group of guys that wanted it more, and they
Mm.
weren't going to be stopped, no matter what they had to do, and nobody was complaining. My our receivers wasn't saying, "Oh, we're not throwing the ball." Our quarterback was like, "Oh, whatever we got to do to win." You know, and that's really the mentality of this team now is whatever we got to do to win, we're gonna take it. And we was able to pull it out 27-2. So,
Man. Without giving it all away, what's your frame of mind coming into the next game?
man, honestly, is being able just to cut loose. I mean, we actually have had the meetings already. I have another meeting after this with the coaches. We to finish game planning, but I mean, all I can say is we have a lot of athletes, and we're gonna let our athletes do the thing. So,
Yeah.
you got to see the ground and pound last week, and all I got to hey, this week is gonna be a show.
Man, I look forward to the outcomes of even this next game coming up with you, man, and just honored to have you guys here um, tonight, man, and just kind of share where you are with that, just so other people can hear. I don't hear any pressure. I don't hear if you hide it, well.
It's no pressure, man. Honestly, we've been going since February.
Yeah.
And football season is a very long season, and people don't really realize what it all. The 10 games you get to see regular season is really just a culmination of everything we did from February up until that point. So
Yeah.
from the weight room to the install, spring ball, summer practice, um, and even through this season. So I put something up this week, and I truly believe it in my heart that the only team that we're playing against is ourselves. If
Right.
we can come in with the right mentality and we can execute, it's on us. And we
Right.
we found that even through the adversity in the beginning of the season and those losses we did take, it wasn't because the other team beat us per
Right.
se. It was mistakes that we made that opened the door at the end of games. It wasn't in the middle, it wasn't at the beginning, at the end of games for teams to be able to have life. And these young men learned that, and now you can see it. And they're just playing at another level now, and I'm grateful just to be able to watch them grow as athletes and as young men.
No doubt. I appreciate you for hanging out tonight. Want to give the stage to the players. So man,
Yes,
thanks.
sir. Let them
Uh,
shine, man. Appreciate you having them.
yeah. I appreciate you for tuning in and checking in. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're gonna bring up Robert Lamar tonight. Streaming. Is it Robert there? What's up, yo? I can't hear you, man. You on mute.
Oh, my bad.
There you go. And I
Yeah,
can only see like half of your head.
yeah. Don't worry about that. You know, yeah, I got stuff going on over here. Don't worry
Oh
about
my
that.
gosh.
I mean, you actually invited, but you don't be on that no more.
Oh
So
my, there you go.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so don't mind me.
I'm
Don't
not gonna
mind
mind
me.
you then. Do you?
But you see the logo back there,
I
Dice
see it.
City
What's up?
Sports
What's up?
representing. Your boy is a official professional boxing analyst.
Yeah.
Official. I
Official.
covered the Virgil Ortiz and little bit fight in Fort Worth last weekend, and that was active, man. That was dope. That was real dope. It's just crazy how when you are a media personnel, when you're a fan, you just get to watch the fight and you just get to do you.
Right.
But after the fight, you got to go to the media scrum, which is a whole nother event in itself.
What
And
was
that
that? I see some clips. What was that like for you, man?
it was wild, man. It was
Man.
meeting Oscar De La Hoya, Virgil Ortiz, and Teofimo Lopez, former undisputed champion at 140. Shoot, he gave me like a fire interview
I
just off the,
saw.
and he liked it too. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez, man.
That's tight, bro.
Yeah, so that was really dope. So yeah, that was a great experience, and then I come back this week and I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna ride out, the playoffs, and then it started to rain. I said, look, 10 years ago,
Uh-oh.
I would have been in the rain.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let these youngsters have their reign. Dude, they playing for the glory. Let them get it. let,
Yeah,
them, let,
no
them, let them
doubt.
play in some real football weather. Cali don't be getting like real football weather for playoffs, but
Every
we
now
got
and
it
then.
last Friday.
Yeah.
The top teams really show why they are the better teams. So, we got these incredible ballers here who really, how the temperature is these days, they'd be in private school. But
Right?
these are the ones who are 10 toes down,
Yeah.
representing for their
For
school,
their school, for
representing
their
for the
city.
section.
Yeah.
So we need to get them up and let's get this rolling,
All
man.
right,
I can't
man.
wait to talk to these ballers.
All right, let's bring the rest of the crew to the stage. This is the Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5
Is
FM,
Coach Will
650
here?
AM, and we're streaming at kcaradio.com website, so you can go there, click listen live, watch live, and check us out as we're up everybody. Just bring everybody on the deck. We
Cool.
good. Just load them up. Yes, load them up. Load him up. You can bring the coach back. Your coach is still there. He ain't at his meeting yet. You can load up the coach. How many can we get on the screen? This is the Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106. So you can't
We
make
got
me
everybody,
smaller?
huh?
How does that work over there? We live, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boom. All right. That's the best we gonna get. All right.
Everybody.
Everybody's there. Again, thanks for listening in to the Dozier Show. This is Sports Collective TV, Media, and Radio, brought to you by KCA Radio, NBC affiliates of NBC Sports, CSNBC News, and NBC News affiliates. Robert Lamar is here. Who else I got? I got Coach is
Got
still
Coach
here.
Will in the building.
Coach, where's Coach Will at?
He driving.
Is he driving?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But he tapped in though.
All right. We got some guests. Guests, introduce yourself. Who wants to go first? Come off mute. Don't be shy.
I'll let Craig go first.
Craig.
My name is Craig Walker.
What's up, Craig?
What's going on? What's going on, y'all?
Do me a favor, introduce yourself to the listeners out here.
My name is Craig Walker, class of 2026. I play wide receiver, kick returner, can do a little bit of it all. And, I'm excited to be here.
Man, again, thanks for accepting the invitation to come out, hanging out with the coach and the staff here at Sports Collective. You heard Coach talking a little bit. What do you want to say? You know, from walking into this season up to what happened this past couple days.
Just I just gotta give my kudos to the coaching staff. They definitely really transformed how Carson is. Like going to the beginning of the season, I had some of my doubts, but definitely Coach Ed Humphrey, Coach Will, Coach William Glow, all the rest of the coaching staff definitely helped, and they now going into like our second round of the playoffs, the semifinal. I feel more confident and excited about my team more than ever. So I'm just ready to go play.
Before I give you into in the zone with Robert Lamar, a couple things I want to ask you. The mindset that you have to not just to be a receiver. I know you got hands like Potten's pans. That's hands out there catching passes. But what is that for you to be in that position? I mean, it could be a tough position, but also it's a very important position. So how do you manage, that role you play in that?
Uh, you know, all glory to God, definitely just being able to put myself in that situation, and then me and Chris having the chemistry. He's my brother, man. Me and him, that chemistry, man, it's always gonna like carry us a long way. And I know that being in that position and him being in that position, he can give me the ball and we can make some, happen out of that. So, I'm glad I'm in that position and I'm definitely, able to handle that being in this position.
Cool, man.
And
I
it don't hurt for
appreciate you.
Ron. It don't hurt that he run a 10-4. All you gotta do is just tell him to run.
No, it doesn't.
So I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah, yeah, the tail forward. I've been running track since I was 7 years old. So, I've been, doing that running my whole life since my mom put me on I've been running for this club track team, Pacific Coast Shockwaves, and then I
Mm,
just transferred over to football in high school, and hard work. First it was 11-2, then it was 11-1, then it was 10-9, 10-8, and then ten
mm.
six, 10-4, and hopefully this year I can go for 10-2 or some even faster than that. So you know.
Robert, what does that mean in real time?
What does that mean? That he's fast as hell is what it means in real time. I mean, look, I ran a 10-8 my senior year, and I ran a 4.38 because I had a burst. But it's like,
Yeah,
see, this dude, it's like once he gets going, you can forget it. You're not catching a 10-4 from behind. No, it's not happening. Like he has the type of speed that we would have saw at Long Beach Poly back in the day.
Mm,
We saw that, and you know what? What's let me take that back. Carson's always had that speed. They had a dude named I can't even pronounce his name right, but I think his name was like Matt Shiar Clay, who went to Arizona. He played corner over there,
mm.
and he was running a 10-5 back then. So Carson's always had speed. So we're not going to disrespect Carson and act like they didn't. And also with their girls team, remember when we had Kaylin and them on
Oh yeah,
when they won state?
yeah,
Man,
yeah, yeah.
Carson is a powerhouse when it comes to track. So we're not going to do any of this Carson slander like it's not there because we all know it is. But
All right.
congratulations with grinding a playoff win against a tough King Drew team. That's a very they're not really deep, but they play hard. Uh, it just seems like looking at you guys' team is what us old heads is used to when looking at a Carson Colt team. Depth, speed, playmakers, physicality. What was going through your mind with just trying to grind out that victory? Because obviously the goal is city, but just to make sure that you took care of business Friday night.
How we handled, how would I say, like how we handled business. That's what you kind of, saying, like how we handled the
Yeah.
situation on Friday. Um, well, definitely going into the rain, like it was pouring, and you know, it definitely kind of like turn a little to make you kind of think about it a little bit harder. But I feel like we handled the business. We definitely started off slow, but our defense, man, our defense plays so well and so lights out that it just hyped up the whole offense. And once it's when you have a good defense when they're scoring points on the defense, like they're making plays to get points on the board. So when our defense show up, I know there's no one who can stop us because we always know that our offense can definitely show something, but when the defense and everything comes together, I think we're the best team in the country. That's how I think of it. So, going out there and just trying to play a full complete game, even though we couldn't, it still showed that we could. We went out there and still handled the business and got the job done and got the win. So,
And that you did. And congrats. Now, semifinals, the championship goes through Carson. You guys are playing a historically tough team. Uh, I've been around a lot of LA City football, and I've seen Garfield give people problems when the team who was favored didn't think that they were going to get those problems, and Garfield was hitting them in the mouth, and you had to really fight for 4 quarters to beat those dudes. Those dudes from East LA, they come with it, and they've been doing that for a long time. So shout out to Garfield for being one of the historically tough programs in the city section. Knowing that that's what you guys are against. You guys got better skill players. You guys are arguably more physical. How do you go against a team knowing that the only way that they can really get to you is by hitting you in the mouth? Are you prepared for that fight on Friday
oh,
night?
oh yeah, we are most definitely prepared because our coaching staff, like I said, my coach is about to go to a meeting right now to finish and finalize the game plan. Like they're already ready to go, and I know no one can hang with our talent. No one can hang with our dedication. And all we gotta do is just come out in the first couple quarters and just take the life out of the team. If we could get on the board early and then just stop them, I just know that we can handle business and we can get the win very,
we
in
we
us.
we got the QB and
Uh,
where's come on, where you at? Introduce yourself.
uh, what's going on, everybody? My name is Chris Fields. Um, I'm a junior, class 27, quarterback at Carson High, and I'm just here to represent my team, my coaches, and my family.
Man, you've heard the conversation. Where do you stand in all this coming into the season this year, and then now, being present to where you are right now? What does that look like for you?
Going into the season, with the departure of our last coach, Coach Christensen, there was a lot of
That's cool.
uncertainty. But as soon as the departure took place, I just said a prayer and I left it up to God. And as you can see, when you keep your faith in God, He's going to take care of you all the time. He brought in a phenomenal coaching staff, a man of faith like Coach Humphreys to mentor us on and off the field. And definitely, he helped me uh, by nurturing my faith and just instilling a lot of faith in me and my teammates and my brothers, just keeping us strong, keeping us focused on the main goal, also making sure that we're okay in our personal lives. So, that's just a testament to the type of men they are. And it went into the preparation that we have for this season. As you guys can see, we're doing pretty well right now, but the job is not finished at all.
I appreciate you as a leader of the not just the team but on the field, um, to say how important is the life experiences, just not just the football life, right? And how sometimes our identity can get trapped in that football helmet and that football jersey, right? And we lose sight of what it is to be a person. So, with your faith in that, how do you manage that on a day to day basis?
It's a day to day. How do I put this? Day to day choice because
Mm.
sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard, but you still got to choose to persevere, pick up your cross, and keep the faith.
I'm good because you know why? I hear so much be resilient, and you chose perseverance. So I know where your heart is coming from just by how you language your conversation with that. Because a lot of people focus on, oh, I'm resilience. Resilience means that you have to be able to bounce back, but most of us don't bounce back, right? But
Right.
the scripture calls for perseverance to push through that, right? So I can hear you on track with that, and shouts out to the coaches for even watering those seeds, right, and to have that develop in you as a part of your character. You as a quarterback, don't give it away. But what's your mind frame? Where you at with that coming into this next game?
Do anything to dominate. We could beat them in any way. I have 100% faith in my guys. My coaches have instilled a lot of self belief into myself because you know I never really felt like I was weak, but at times I wouldn't have as much confidence as I needed. But they
Mm.
definitely instilled that like in me, and I'm just going into this game fully confident. We're preparing. Our coach is going to have a meeting. I've been watching a lot of film, and I just know what we're capable of, and I know it's up to us. We dictate the game, we dictate the pace, and we dictate the tone.
Lastly, before I give it away to the heme factor in the zone, your wide receiver's right here. He gave you kudos and credit for the relationship and the trust that you have. Is that obviously it's mutual? What do you see in your receiver and the rest of your team?
Honestly, just a lot of camaraderie because we spend a lot of time together, like at school, the practice, outside of school. We have group chats together where we just chat all the time, talk about normal stuff, talk about football, and a lot of reps. I know these guys really well. I know how they move. They know how I move. They know how I'm going to get the ball to them, and it's just a lot of trust built upon
Mm,
many, many, many repetitions.
yeah, appreciate
Hey,
that. And thank you. Yeah,
Ferran, I gotta say something real
go
quick,
ahead, go
man.
ahead, coach.
Hey, so Coach Lamar asked a question and about or talked about Garfield and how historically they're a tough team, and we understood as a staff when we came in that if we got prepared in non-conference, and that it would help us in conference, help us in the playoffs. And when you go back and look at our schedule, we played all seven Central teams outside of one for non-conference. Three of those teams are playing in CIF semifinals this week with us.
Mm,
Division three, Division four, and Division six in Palos Verde, Villa Park, and Pius. Um, Chris is humble, and I know I bragged on Greg with his 10-4 and just his speed. But this kid, man, it's easy to go in a battle. We kind of was able to save him this year. He had a talk with me. It was like, Coach, this is what I want to do. He's just very talented, so we built our offense around him. But
mm.
when your quarterback in the conference championship game throws for 242 and rushes for 204, you know, it makes life easy for us. And our coach always tells us players win games and coaches lose games.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we put them in the right position. But to Coach Lamar, man, what made me be okay with this season when I found out that Chris does MMA. I found out my quarterback trains MMA. I knew I wasn't rocking with no soft guy. So if you will see him in the NFL, you might be covering him in the ring because he got it.
Let me see where coach is at. Coach Heme Factor, man. We see you on there, man. Come off the line, man. Say what you
Coach Will,
what's up, yo?
Oh,
three
yeah.
times for your boy.
Hey man, y'all know, y'all know. So listen, I'm gonna get straight to it. What's up, man? It's good to meet y'all, fellas, man. I wish I was in
Good
studio
to meet you.
live, like we could have y'all in live. Very good to meet y'all. But you can follow me, Coach Will 247 on Instagram, and tap in with me, Coach. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to get your guys for the off season. You know what I mean? So don't mind me when I'm trying to get it for 7 on 7. Yeah, say I do this. I do this.
So
But fellas, man, I think you guys have had a great season, and I agree with you, Coach. When you guys have had some great competition, you've played the King Drews and some of those tough teams all year. I'm pretty sure you took it real serious, seeing these teams in the off season, like during 7 on 7, just to kind of get a feel for the competition. But Garfield is a gritty team, and I think that you guys can handle what's coming forward. Overall, what is just the temperature around the whole team? What's the environment like, as you guys prepare to go into this week?
this week we're actually taking a deep breath, man, because we understand that there's so much more that we could have done and that we didn't have to show and pull out the stable. We've seen Garfield, like you said, sevens and all that stuff, but we understand that when you put the pads on, that's when it really matters. They have. I mean, when you're putting 10 guys on the offensive line just trying to run the ball, I mean, hey, you could tell that they're tough. But
Yeah.
for us, the one thing that we have to put the pressure on them. And what we're going to do, we're going to make them play football. You're not going to be able to get no formation just run on us because our defense ain't going to allow it. And I know with Chris leading these guys and Craig and Nate and Speedy and all these guys, they're going to put points on the board. So really, it's just a matter of us executing like we need to and giving the effort that we need to. But for us, honestly, the temperature, man, you can when you walk around the campus, you walk around the community, you walk in the locker room, you can not only hear the belief, but you can feel it. And and
Yeah.
and that's why I'm confident and no matter who we line up against, because we're gonna bring it.
Well, look, I mean, I look at okay, because I think that a little bit of that confidence as well comes in when you look at what Garfield did to Palisades, knowing they got a speedster, a speed demon over there too, right? Guy another 818 guy. I'm an 818 guy, I reiterate, so excuse me, you know what I mean? But they had an 818 guy over there that had just transferred in, right? So Damari is a speedster, and I feel like the way Garfield kind of got away with that. I don't think that they're gonna have the same success because you guys have so many weapons all around. And I'm the one that's not nice about things. I'm gonna go out on the edge and and predict Carson with the dub. That's just how I feel. That's just my personal opinion. No offense to Garfield. I think Garfield is a phenomenal program, and they honestly they surprised me with the Palisades win. But I think that you guys should come home with this one. But this was like a two-part thing for me because I don't want to skip ahead, but I got to do this to you, Coach. Birmingham is the powerhouse.
Hmm.
Birmingham has been the powerhouse, and guys, I don't want to give you guys any what is it uh uh board fire
Bulletin
Bulletin
board
fuel,
board
right? The
material.
material.
board fuel. I don't want to do that to any of the guys, but how do you, Coach, you personally, how do you feel about being able to you know kind of be headed in that direction?
All right, let's keep it a buck. All right. Let's just say, not let's just say, I can be honest, I can speak for the coaching staff, I can speak for these players. We knew from the springtime that it was going to be us in Birmingham and for the city championship. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We don't talk around it or anything. Yes, they won 54 games in a row or 55 games in a row against city teams. But one thing they have not done, they have not seen this coaching staff, they have not seen this team. And my only ask, Coach Will, so, since you rocking with us, is come to the game and holler at us when the scoreboard hits zero. Because I promise you that Carson's going to be city section champions this year.
Woo!
Whee!
My man.
All
I like
right.
that. I like that. I
Coach,
like
is
that.
where's
I like
City
that.
at? Is City at LA Valley again, or is it at Birmingham? Where is it at?
Southwest, LA Southwest this year on the 29th.
Why that? Why not El Camino, bro?
Man, I'm learning. I'm coming from the southern section, so I mean, for me, I heard it was just whatever, whoever said yes the nicest way, I guess.
That's what. Oh, they did City for basketball on Southwest, but I mean, you got to put that
Yeah.
at Elco, man. They tripping. They be giving that city section budget, and I'm a city section guy, man. I got media passes, so I'm gonna be at the Rose Bowl the night before, and then Saturday. You guys are Saturday, right?
Saturday, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm there Saturday. Don't trip. I'm there.
Come through. I mean, you have to come through, man. Craig is a six offer D1 guy right now. He's going to get some more coming in. Chris Fields, I tell everybody all the
Nice.
time, man, he's going to be the fastest rising 2027 quarterback that you see. I mean, both of them have 4.0 GPAs. We have a lot of kids that's doing their thing, so we're just blessed to be able to make. I don't want to say make city section ball relevant, but even next year we got something to shock y'all. Like y'all gonna see, like Carson is really positioning itself to be a top team in the state, and we just have to continue to do the right things and build consistency.
Hey,
Well,
what?
it looks like you guys did well because you guys lost a few dudes to Legion, right?
No, we lost some people to transfers. We had some go to Bishop Montgomery. We had all that stuff. But at the end of the day. One thing that I do know, when I came with Coach Lowe and he asked me to come with him from my previous spot, one thing that's no secret is that most people take talent from Carson.
We touched
So
on
it,
that last time.
yeah, so if we just win and get kids out and show them that you can win at a high level and you're going to college, then it's going to make it twice as hard for somebody to come in and swoop in. So, from the media, social media presence to having great guys to represent our program like these two young men, and keep winning. I mean, that's our job, man. And it's definitely going to. It does. We want to play with who wants to be there, and at the end of the day, Carson's going to be a place that you don't want to turn down.
I mean, but coach, we already know you can win at Carson. We know this already. Historically, this
Historically.
this isn't a this isn't a thing. Like this is there's data, and you guys see it every day in the locker room. State
Well,
championship.
I got a question. I got a question. This for the boys. Who is one of the top running backs to ever come out of Carson High?
Oh,
And answer that. There's two, and this is my like me being a Carson my whole time. I felt realistically the best running back I ever watched was either Jerry Misalafua or Cameron Hirsch, and that's
ooh,
just
Well, who you broke
uh
my heart?
oh,
and
Who you broke my heart?
I think I personally think because I definitely know there's a lot of history in Carson, but
woo.
like and there's so much history, and I could definitely probably go back in the history books and look through it, and I can definitely probably find some of that's better. But seeing with my own eyes, I think the best high school football running back I seen was Jerry Misalafua.
I respect that. I
Hey,
Hey,
respect that.
he was
I
hard.
respect that. What about you, Mr. Fields? You got a response to that?
Um, my youth football coach, uh, I'm not sure what year he graduated, but Travion Stevens and then
Okay.
Ooh,
James Robinson, it was cold back in the day.
Okay.
Travion was
Okay.
hard.
All right. Coach,
Yeah.
I think you know where I'm going with this, Coach. Who you think I'm talking about, Coach?
Man, I'm still under my Carson history, so I know when to bow out when I'm supposed to bow out. But all I know is I keep walking in our office, our football office, and I keep seeing all these Super Bowl footballs and players that played in Carson. So I'm pretty, you can be like a clock. You can be right twice a day, no matter who you pick. There's a lot of dudes that came
Give
out
me
of there.
J.R. Redmond.
Yeah, you stop playing with that
Give
name
me
right there.
J.R. Redmond.
Listen here. Y'all gonna stop playing with the name. Hey, J.R. Redmond was one of the greats, man. I love that dude. I thought he
Like
took that to
watching a
Arizona
video
State.
game watching that dude.
I mean, he was just a phenomenal running back, fellas. If you ever get a chance, you know what I mean, to
Arizona
watch his
State,
tape, big time player.
man, he was
Shout out
that guy.
J.R. Redmond.
All right, we got
yeah,
a we
J.R.
got a
Redmond is a good one. I
we got a
trained
Woo!
with him, so
we
J.R.
got a
Redmond was that
we
guy,
got a
man.
few minutes
Shit.
left, gentlemen. Let's get this last questions, last quarterback. What do you want to say on the way out?
Um, man, I just want to give glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, honestly, because without Him, there wouldn't be no me here. There would be no success had, no blessings, because all blessings come from Him. So I just want to give Him all the glory and praise.
I appreciate that, man, because that shows for me that you have balance. You got balance, man, and that's
Yes,
good to
sir.
hear that from a teenager at the level of where your age group is functioning right now, man. It's good to hear somebody that can articulate that way. Mr.
With them
Wide
being
Receiver,
ballers, let's get to the chase here real quick before we're done.
you got 2 minutes.
I don't need you guys representing Carson, putting Carson on the map, and having ugly girls wear your jersey. Y'all gotta have them baddies wearing y'all jerseys because y'all them dudes, right? You feel me? So when I go to the game, and if I see an ugly chick wear your jersey, that's your age. I'm going to at the interview. I'm gonna question you about that
You
because
ain't gonna
you
see
guys
that.
represent a
Rule
standard.
number four. Rule number four on the team is no girlfriends during the season, so you ain't gonna see it.
Good deal.
Cool. Wide receiver, you got 30 seconds, man. What do you want to say on the way out? One, yeah.
all glory to God, all glory to my family. My mom, my dad, my whole supporting cast. All glory to Coach Ed Humphrey. He been, a nonstop role model to me. And sometimes we be, getting at it, but like it's just love at the end of the day because he really is a father figure to me. So, and all glory to God all glory to my other coaches too. And all I gotta say is, we ready for it to take it all, and it's time to rewrite history. So that's all I gotta say.
Boom.
Let's go.
Coach Will, you got something real quick?
No, man, salute to you guys, man. I'll be there to support, man, in the big game. And, I wish you well. Take it all the way. And I'll definitely see you guys in the off season.
Yes, sir.
Rob, let's go.
Hey, appreciate you guys coming through. Hey, best of luck to you guys. We look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. So lock it in, man. Get ready for that fight because y'all gonna fight on Friday night.
We're gonna knock them out.
That's right.
Coach, man, thanks for
Boom, boom.
accepting the invitation for the players. Appreciate y'all. We out of here. Catch us next Sunday right here on the Farron Dozier Show, Sports Collective TV, Media and Radio. Shout us out. What's the count? KCA Radio.
KCAA. Every golfer has the same problem: dirty club face.